Right now in 10, high school reading skills across the nation hit a new low. The latest data and what the numbers mean for Madison schools.
And there's another challenger in the race for governor of Wisconsin. Who is David Crowley, and what's his message for Wisconsinites?
Plus, confusion over who can get the COVID vaccine. We'll hear from a local pharmacy on how they're handling the differing guidelines. That's all coming up on News 3 now at 10. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Eric Franke.
And I'm Sarah Carlson. Breaking news out of Europe tonight. Poland says it has shut down Russian drones that entered its airspace.
Those drones were part of a massive airstrike on Ukrainian territory. Poland's operational command says they are actively working to locate the downed objects. Poland is a member of NATO, the defensive pact, including the U.S., that employs the principle that an attack on one is an attack on all.
Well, the start of a new school year can be overwhelming for sure, especially for students entering college for the first time.
And now new national data shows that fewer students are doing so with the skills they need to succeed. Our Maddie Heimsch reports.
That new data gives us a look at math and reading proficiency among high school seniors across the country. And since the last time the data was published in 2019, not only did nearly every percentile group see a decline, but the students struggling the most saw the most significant drops.
So if you were to map out the lines, you can only imagine that this is going to get increasingly worse for struggling students.
David Kaplan is a professor of educational psychology at UW-Madison. He says school closures due to COVID and increased screen time among teenagers are often cited as the most likely contributors to the downward trend.
It is important to point out that things were going in this direction slowly, mind you, but things were going in this direction before COVID.
But the so-called national report card shows that the breakdown of college readiness is long-term.
All are lower than they were more than 3 decades ago.
The newest data now showing that only a third of high school seniors are ready for entry-level college math.
And that's down from 37% in 2019, so that trend is heading in the wrong direction.
Matthew Soldner is the acting commissioner of the National Center for Education Statistics, the federal agency that gathers and publishes the findings.
Unfortunately, the percentage of students who are scoring below NAEP Basic is on the rise. That's our lowest performance level. And the number of students who are performing above the NAEP Proficient level is on the decline.
And while the cause of the decline is uncertain, Kaplan says getting students back on track will be even more complicated.
It, again, is going to require knowing what levers need to be pulled, and maybe for struggling students in struggling schools, it may not be the same levers that need to be pulled for the upper level performing students who are declining also.
The agency's next snapshot of college readiness among the country's 12th graders will come out in 2028.
Maddie Heimsch, thank you. And now we have weather getting warmer each day of the week.
That's right. Alex, how about some rain? Are we going to see any of that? Because it's been a while.
It has been a while. We certainly could use some drops in some parts of southern Wisconsin. We have some drops falling right now along in north and east of I-90, Camp Douglas, Mauston, over towards the Preston, New Chester area in Juneau and Adams counties. A couple moderate showers falling right now. And as we take kind of a zoom out here to the north and west of Madison, we have a little weather system north and west towards La Crosse, and that's bringing those few showers, maybe a rumble or two of thunder to areas north and west of Lone Rock to the Dells, north and west of the Wisconsin River Valley. And that's really where these showers are likely going to stay for the vast majority of the evening, hugging areas north and west of Wisconsin Dells, west of I-39. Even as we head towards 4 o'clock in this morning, you see a little swirl here with this weather system. It's a little area of low pressure, but not making much east progress as we go through the early to mid-morning hours of Wednesday. We will have more rain, though, in the forecast. That Tuesday, Wednesday rain will track a little bit further when I come back in a couple of minutes through the rest of the area. Then we need to talk about other rain chances that are going to be associated with a pretty big warm-up for this time of year. Again, it's September. We can get well into the 80s and into the 90s. Will this be accompanied with some muggy conditions as well as we head towards the upcoming weekend? I have the answer when I come back here in, let's say, about 10 minutes.
All right, sounds good. Alex, thank you. Madison police say a fight outside a downtown nightclub early Sunday morning spilled into the streets, forcing a large response. Officers initially responded to reports of a man assaulting a woman, but other fights erupted. This was near Gorham and State Streets. The police used pepper spray to clear the crowd from the roadway. Multiple people resisted arrest, they say, including one who bit a security guard and officers, and another who swung at a police sergeant. Several people now face disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, battery, and obstruction charges.
And now to the race for Wisconsin governor, where another Democrat officially entered his name today. Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley says he is in the running. The 39-year-old Democrat rose from poverty in Milwaukee to become the county's first black executive. He joins Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez in the Democratic primary to replace Governor Tony Evers, retiring his campaign. Now, his campaign centers on lowering costs for families, expanding affordable health care and housing, and fully funding public schools.
For me, it's about how do we work together with one another. You know, I'm running on this campaign to bring Democrats, independents, and Republicans into the fold because people are frustrated. They're frustrated with the state parties. They're frustrated with things not getting done, and they need us to help make things a little bit more affordable.
So if elected, Crowley would be Wisconsin's first black governor. Meanwhile, 2 Republicans have also declared their candidacies: Washington County Executive Josh Schoeman and Milwaukee businessman Bill Berrien.
Today, Assembly Republicans discussed their package of education bills and the Speaker's task force on protecting kids. Representative Lindy Brill was announced as the chair of that task force. It focuses on how parents prepare and protect their children in a digital age with rapidly changing technology. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos says there needs to be statewide standards for youth access to social media to help protect teachers.
If you look at protecting teachers, I think that's very easy for us to say. It doesn't matter if you teach in Milwaukee or Burlington, River Falls or Rice Lake. You should have the same protections to ensure that if a disruptive student happens, that your school board's taken a position and that they're standing behind you.
Starting at the end of the month, the Task Force on Protecting Kids will hold public hearings in Madison and all across the state to develop policy recommendations.
And speaking of public media, you may face some challenges if you're planning to get the COVID-19 vaccine for a trip or work. The FDA approved the vaccine prescription-free, but only for people 65 and older and those with certain medical conditions. According to the owner of Fitchburg Family Pharmacy, new vaccine guidelines still haven't been approved by the CDC's panel on immunizations, which is required for Wisconsin pharmacies to administer without a prescription.
I think that one solution to this problem would be for the state of Wisconsin to put out a standing order that would specify who could get the COVID vaccine.
Now, that CDC panel meets next on September 18th, but what they will decide is up in the air because HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. recently fired all members of the panel and replaced some with vaccine skeptics.
Madison's police and fire departments are teaming up to give back to the community. This Thursday is the 14th annual Never Forget Blood Drive. That drive will run from 8:30 to 2:30 at the Goodman Community Center on Wabisa Street.
Blood donation is a great way that everyone can kind of be a community hero and a community partner. You know, as myself and my colleagues at the fire department see day in and day out, we go to emergencies where blood is needed. And this is a great way for everyone to roll up their sleeves and literally give life to members of our community.
Madison Community Policing Foundation and Firefighters Local 311 charities are donating customized water bottles, and those will be available for the first 140 donors.
The city of Madison is moving forward with 3 new proposals to address the city's housing crisis. The first would update existing height limits for multifamily buildings. A second proposal would address the city's lot size requirements. And finally, the third proposal would expand the rules allowing for more homeowners to have backyard cottages.
These structures, the backyard cottages, provide opportunities for residents to age in place in the neighborhoods that they love, gives more people the option to supplement their income with rental properties, and they open up new possibilities for young people who might be trying to own their first home.
The Common Council is set to vote on these 3 proposals at their next meeting, September 16th.
Today, the Madison School District unveiled its new brand. The logo features 2 pillars for strength and foundation. There's a book in the center to show that literacy is the cornerstone of education and democracy, and it's topped off by the iconic Wisconsin Capitol Dome. The district superintendent says identity is important and they want students to be proud of who they are.
Our city's growing. We have 100,000 people expected to be here in the next 25 years, and we have to ensure that Madison Metropolitan School District has a strong brand, that people can recognize it and want to be part of it. This is a great place to live, work, and learn.
The district began working on the brand back in March and spoke with stakeholders and students in the district to come up with that final design. Still, ahead of 10 federal charges are filed in connection to the deadly stabbing of a Ukrainian refugee last month.
And a birthday message allegedly from President Trump to Jeffrey Epstein is released. How lawmakers on Capitol Hill are reacting. That's next.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10. Moving forward.
The Justice Department has filed a federal criminal charge against the man accused in last month's deadly stabbing of a Ukrainian refugee in North Carolina.
The suspect, DeCarlos Brown Jr., is charged with one count of committing an act causing death on a mass transportation system. Now, that federal charge comes amid growing concerns about why DeCarlos Brown Jr. was free after 14 prior criminal arrests.
These federal charges will go alongside the murder case in state court, and we hope that they will ensure justice for Erna, for her family, and for the whole Charlotte community.
The Justice Department said the charge carries a maximum penalty of life in prison or death. The White House and lawmakers on Capitol Hill are reacting to the release of a birthday message allegedly from President Trump to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
President Trump has previously called the note fake. Torian Small has more details from the White House.
The head of the House committee investigating the Jeffrey Epstein case is downplaying a message allegedly from President Trump to Epstein in 2003. The estate of the convicted sex offender turned the documents over to the committee, along with an apparent message from former President Bill Clinton.
This is about the victims. This is about embarrassing President Trump or Bill Clinton. This is about the victims.
President Trump has denied writing the note and making a sexually suggestive sketch. He's pursuing a defamation lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal for having earlier reported it.
This absolutely was not the president's authentic signature.
House Democrats are trying to force a vote on compelling the release of the Epstein files.
If Republicans don't want to engage in a cover-up of pedophilia and this pedophilia ring, they should go sign this discharge petition.
On an economic front, the Bureau of Labor Statistics issued a major revision Tuesday showing the U.S. added 911,000 fewer jobs than initially estimated over a 12-month period that ended in March. The president has been highly critical of BLS and the data. In August, he fired the Bureau's commissioner.
We need accurate numbers. We need truthful and honest data, which is why the president took the monumental step to try and appoint and confirm new leadership at the BLS so we can have data that we can actually rely on.
In light of the sharp downward revision, the White House has once again called on the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates when it meets later this month. Torian Small, CBS News, the White House.
And now turning to the weather, where it'll be close to 80 by the weekend.
Hey, Alex, how warm are we talking, and what about the storm chances?
I've upped the temperatures to 85. Can you believe that? For Saturday, 85. We may even have to go a little bit warmer than that, too, with some of the latest weather models that are coming in. And with that warm air that's moving in, it will also be humid as we head towards the weekend, and that's going to also increase the storm chances, even way out next Friday. First to let you know, 74 is going to be normal for this time of year, so nothing of that fall-like weather that we've been experiencing is anywhere in sight for southern Wisconsin. Little chances for rain tonight going into Wednesday. Better chances for rain as we get that heat and we get that humidity back into southern Wisconsin. Radar 3000 right now showing a couple showers. Juneau, Adams counties just north of the Dells. So if you are planning on heading up I-90 for any late night travel, you're going to run into some of these showers, and they will be coming down at a moderate pace from time to time. But those showers are really going to stay consolidated. They're really going to kind of hug areas north and west of Madison and not really get too much further to the south and towards the east. And Future Track shows that very well here as we move towards 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. That little spin with this weather feature staying up towards Camp Douglas, the Dells, Richland Center over towards the Viroqua area. As we go further into the morning, then we see those showers kind of disperse as the weather system weakens, although I think we're going to have more in the way of clouds tomorrow than what we experienced today. But just a couple of isolated showers going on into Wednesday, and our Future Track precipitation has come down here. I think this is more realistic. Earlier tonight I was showing upwards of 1 inch to the north and west towards La Crosse. I think maybe a 1/4 to 1/2 inch. Camp Douglas, Viroqua, Richland Center, the Dells, you might get 1/10 of an inch out of this. The rest of southern Wisconsin, probably staying high and dry. And we could use a couple of those raindrops out there because I'm starting to see a pattern pick up here. As we've moved away from those stormy days in August, it's been dry in southern Wisconsin. And I know we had flash flooding in parts of the area, but as we look at our rain gauges here for the month, we're down by almost an inch. Now we're down by 3/10 of an inch. While that may not seem too extreme, wait till I show you the extended forecast here, as I promised during the 6 o'clock newscast. 50s tonight with that shower chance mainly to the north and west of Madison. Tiny chance of a sprinkle or a shower. Highs in the low to mid 70s on Wednesday because we're going to have a little bit more in the way of cloud cover. Got that all-important game up at Lambeau Field. Temperatures in the 60s for that evening game on Thursday. As we go into the weekend, there's that warm stuff. Best chance for showers and thunderstorms Friday night, again Saturday night, and then again Sunday night as a cold front comes through. And hopefully we'll get a couple of drops of water. As I promised, marching all the way out. This will be past the first day of fall. Better than normal chances being high chances of us being warmer than normal going out towards the latter part of September. And the rain may stay off towards the west, so we may stay in this dry pattern in southern Wisconsin. And to break down the Packers forecast, again, very pleasant, good football weather up in Lambeau Field. And Eric had promised you the Tuscaloosa forecast. We talked about it earlier. Toasty. They're going to be in the mid-90s this upcoming weekend, and pretty muggy stuff too.
And the Badgers have been dealing with cooler weather the last several days, so hopefully they can adjust to that. Alex, thank you. And coming up in sports, quick turnaround now for the green and gold this week. Why this matchup has Micah Parsons chomping at the bit to play. Stay with us.
Well, the Packers are just 2 days away from another home game, this time against the Washington Commanders.
And their most recent addition, of course, that would be Micah Parsons, is begging to play on Thursday. News 3 Now senior Packers writer Jason Wilde has more.
If it feels as if the Green Bay Packers world revolves around Micah Parsons these days, it kind of does. He is all the buzz at 1265 Lombardi Avenue. But some non-Micah Parsons news first tonight. The Packers agreed to a one-year contract extension with Christian Watson. He's coming off that major knee injury he suffered in the regular season finale in January. He gets 1 year, $13 million for 2026. He was in the last year of his contract. Now he doesn't have to rush back from that knee injury. He is on the physically unable to perform list. A deal that makes sense for both sides. Speaking of a deal that's been great for both sides so far, although it's only been one game, Micah Parsons was as advertised in the opener against Detroit, and it turns out he is asking for even more opportunities on Thursday night against the Washington Commanders. And Jeff Hafley, the Packers defensive coordinator, loves the sound of that.
For his limited snaps, I mean, the way he ran to the ball, the pressures, the sack, I mean, it's kind of what I was hoping he would do. And hopefully he'll do more, and we'll be able to use him more the more we have him in practice and the more reps that he can play. And, the more comfortable he is with the guys in his room to play off each other, to run games together, to really learn the defense. So I thought he did an awesome job. And the more I'm around him, the more I'm impressed with him, not just as a player, but as a person and the way he approaches it, the way he's trying to have relationships with his teammates. He's a fun guy to be around. He loves ball, and he's smart, and I respect him a ton, and I'm glad he's on our team.
Now, no matter how much Micah Parsons and Jeff Hafley want Parsons to play more against the Commanders on Thursday night, it won't be a lot more. He is still ramping up. He admitted he was getting winded at the end of the Lions game on Sunday, but look for him to play more than the 30 snaps he played against them, and he has had a lot of success against the Washington Commanders. In 2 games last year, 4.5 sacks, so keep an eye on that. We'll cover that and everything else Packers at channel3000.com. And while you're there, don't forget to sign up for our newsletter, which delivers our Packers coverage directly to your inbox for free. In Green Bay, Jason Wilde, channel3000.com.
Jason, thank you. And this week's game against Washington will take place at Lambeau Field. Quick turnaround, as we mentioned. The game's on Amazon Prime. Kickoff Thursday night, set for 7:15. Game 2 of the Brewers' 3-game series against the Rangers, as seen tonight on our sister station, Television Wisconsin. Brewers scoreless yesterday, struggling to find offense tonight again. till the top of the fifth. William Contreras drives in a pair to give him a 3-1 lead, but it was short-lived. Aside from that 3 spot in the fifth, Milwaukee shut down again. Texas got 4 in their half of the fifth. Milwaukee with its second straight loss, 5-4, the final. And tonight, the Badger women's volleyball team taking on Milwaukee at the Fieldhouse. We begin in the first set. Grace Egan serving, fires it over with no response here. Later, same set, Charlie Furbringer going to send it over the net. Milwaukee gets ready to tip it over, but Carter Booth is there to come out from the middle and block it. There it is, Carter Booth. And now to the second set, the Panthers trying to serve it again to no avail. Charlie Furbringer again going to slide it over to Booth, who sends it down, and Wisconsin takes this one in a 3-set sweep, 25-7, 25-15. And 25-11.
Well, the Wisconsin Huddle returns for its 3rd season this week. The Badgers are getting ready for their big game against Alabama Saturday. And we're bringing Wisconsin sports directly to you, the fans at home. We will have exclusive insights from the players and behind-the-scenes access that you can't get anywhere else. Wide receiver Trech Kekahuna is the guest player this week. The first episode is scheduled to air Friday at 6:30. And Alex will be back with a final check of the weather when we come back.
I was heartbroken to learn that your job doesn't come with lifetime tenure like mine does.
For Bears All New with Justice Sonia Sotomayor, CBS Tonight.
More than 100,000 people are waiting for an organ on the U.S. transplant list. Most are in need of a kidney, but there's just been a major milestone in animal-to-human transplants. Bill Stewart said to be doing well after receiving an experimental pig kidney transplant.
This is so fantastic. He got his new organ in June. Now, while Massachusetts General Hospital also announces another pig kidney recipient set a record, 7 months so far with his organ. The FDA approved that the company that provides the genetically edited pig kidneys, eGenesis, can begin a significant study of kidney transplants.
It'll be a pretty fascinating development if that
Wow.
can continue to see success. Alex Harrington back once again with a look at our forecast.
Yeah, staying summer-like. A touch cooler tomorrow than what we experienced today. We'll have some clouds, but those clouds are out of here by Thursday and Friday. Then we're back up into the 80s by the weekend. Lambeau game on Thursday evening. Temperatures are on 16 in case you're wondering. The muggy stuff, though, is going to return to the area by Saturday and Sunday. Best chances for thunderstorms are going to be Friday night and Saturday night and then Sunday night with that weather system, but then staying warm all the way through the 10-day forecast. So fall, it's around the corner, but I don't see it.
Summer's sticking around. We'll take it. Thank you,
Enjoy it
Alex.
while it's here.
That's
Exactly.
right. That's right. Thanks for watching News 3 Now at 10, everyone. The Late Show is up next.
And our next newscast coming up tomorrow morning at 4:30. You can always find us streaming 24/7 at Channel 3000+.